menacing, frightening, find help. Sometimes I scare myself.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Y'all excited or what?
Yeah, our roundup.
Yeah. So welcome back, guys. So this is another episode of A Different World podcast. I believe this is episode 5. This is a show where we like to talk about and have disruptive conversations from everything from entrepreneurship to sex to religion, pop culture, and everything else in between. And this episode is epic because 1, it's our last episode of 2018. And 2, we want to go over the most riveting and polarizing moments of 2018 that happened in society and pop culture. So with that being said, I'm your host, Corey Kareem, alongside
Angelina.
Kern Carter.
Finally got him to say his own name.
This is very uncomfortable. I hate doing that.
That's such a weird thing to hate to say your own name.
Yeah, I just
You've
don't
had it
like
all your
saying it.
life.
I know, but I like my name. I don't like saying it.
Alright.
Okay. And we have some special guests here that are joining us for this crazy conversation that we're about to embark on. So we also have my man over here.
I'm CJ.
Okay.
And I'm Talia.
Perfect. And you know what? I got a little something for you guys. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for coming on. So, Ange, what you got?
Alright.
What you got cooked up over here?
Well, we're having some woke conversation.
Yeah.
So we talked about having a woke cocktail. You know, it's something we're testing out, something we're trying. You know, this episode's cocktail is brought to us by Marquis de Villard, a wonderful French brandy, and I made a bit of a cocktail of called Club Cocktail. It's cherry syrup, pineapple juice, Angostura bitters, and some brandy.
Yes.
Feeling it.
All right, so
pour it up.
Pour it up.
Wow.
Yes, yeah, Mariana fan.
Biggest fan over here.
Oh, really?
The goal is to write her biography.
Oh,
That is the mission of my business. It's unofficial.
right, because you are a writer. So we have a space full of creatives.
Yes.
Writer, photographer, CJ. So what are you working on lately? What's your
Now, I'm in the middle of ghostwriting a book. And so that means I can't tell you what it's about. But it's a big one, and I'm very excited about it, and it's right up my alley. So I'm a little sad that I can't slap my name on it, but I'm proud to be involved.
There you go. It's
Perfect. Let's try this woke.
lady.
Thank you very much.
Feeling
All
it.
right, CJ, we're not keeping CJ out on purpose. He's just choosing not to embark on some
Whoa.
On the
on the woke. He's like, I'm woke enough already. I don't need it.
Yeah.
It's like my body is a temple.
Clank.
Cheers.
Look me in the eyes, buddy. Look me in the eyes. Yo, so many people call me out on that, so now I'm like, yeah, feels good up.
So this cocktail's a little bit different because
Oh, wow.
I know it good.
Yes.
I was heavy-handed. It's a
Yeah.
Jamaican, you know what I mean?
That's okay.
And I gotta feel it. Gotta feel the spirit in it. All right.
Feel woke already.
But
Whoa.
I'm sleepy just now.
Woke.
All right, here you go.
All right, so let's get into the first topic. This one might be triggering for some people on this panel here today. So the first one we want to get into is Kanye West. We're gonna use Kanye West as the proxy, as the example. What we're really trying to discuss is this whole thing about cancel culture. So specifically, can you forgive somebody who says something so crazy, so outlandish? Like, when is the appropriate time to say, you know what, I get it, you're human, we all make mistakes, we evolve, we grow? Or is it like you said something so crazy and you're done?
Can I jump in on this? Because before the stand goes crazy, because Kurt and I have had many conversations about Kanye, and it's interesting because we're talking about Kanye, but like when we're thinking about like cancel culture, and people being redeemable, I was like, when he started with all this craziness, I was like, yo, I don't know, man, this is ridiculous, but I love Kanye, right? And I kind of thought about, you know, his whole evolution and his battle with mental health and the sacrifice that arguably he's made to be like this super creative person. But at some point, if something is so contrary to your own values, right, and by you supporting them, it's kind of downgrading, you know, what you feel. I say, you know what, cut ties. Yeah, move
Cut
on.
it.
I can't support you anymore.
Done. That's it.
Yeah. His heart.
Do you want to back her up first?
No,
or you wanna
back her
argue?
up. No. If you're making a personal decision that goes against your character and your morals, sure. But there's like 5% of people that are doing that. No one's doing that. People are just canceling Kanye or saying they're canceling Kanye because it's cool. Or because it's trendy, or because it's popular, or something like that. Kanye's been crazy from day one. Just because when he was crazy and he was on your side, but when he said fuck George Bush and he was on your side crazy, now you loved him then. Now he's opposite, not on your side crazy. Now all of a sudden you don't fuck with him.
Do you think Kanye was really crazy when he said that though? Like
no,
for real,
but I don't think
You're saying it's the same person.
But I think it's the same person. That's what I'm trying to say. It's just like right now it's just not for the culture as we stand for it. You know what I'm trying to say? So I'm not even saying I'm agreeing with Kanye. But I didn't agree with him when he said fuck George Bush on television either. I'll be real.
Right.
I didn't agree with that either. So to me it's like
I won't say anything.
No, I'm not.
I agree. I'll say it.
No, I'm not. I don't agree with George Bush. I'm just saying I don't think you should have said it like that. But what I'm saying is like if you're making a personal decision, great, like all for it. But if you're just bandwagon jumping or being a what do you call it? A social justice warrior, a fake social justice warrior. I'm not. I think that's
everything.
I think that's stupid. Like that's the same thing they just did to Kevin Hart. They bandwagon jumped him for something he said and apologized for multiple times. And Kevin Hart's made how many movies since he said that? Yeah. How many movies has Kevin Hart made that we love? And those same people that are dissing him now went to go see and laughed at those jokes.
No, in all fairness,
so,
I'm not necessarily a Kevin Hart fan for a host of different reasons. Like this whole gay slur thing is like, yeah, here's another. So I'm not a Kevin Hart fan for a host of reasons, but I agree with you in terms of I feel like people need to be allowed to have a past and be able to move on from that past. I mean, we've all said things and done things on social media. Like I think about our kids now, right? Like we did crazy things as teenagers and young people, and if there was this archive, public archive of everything we did and said. Oh my goodness! None of us would have jobs.
Exactly.
We'd all be in trouble.
Exactly. That's my whole point.
But I think though, there's a difference between I said this crazy thing 10 years ago. Why are you bringing it up? And I said this crazy thing 10 years ago, and that's not who I am anymore. And I'm going to publicly state that every time. So every time you bring it up, I'm not going to get in my feelings and get upset because it was offensive and it was wrong for me to say that. So I will apologize every time because I was wrong then, and I'm taking ownership of it now. If you want to get in your feelings and be like, why are you bringing it up? All you do is cancel out all the apologies you made before because it just made it seem like you were apologizing to keep the peace, to make people be quiet. If you were sorry for it then, you should be sorry for it now. I'm not saying throw a pity party and feel bad. I'm just saying the apology should extend for the rest of your life. If you have to offer it every day for the rest of your life, offer it every day. You should feel sorry.
I halfway get that, but do you think the Academy Awards didn't know about that tweet?
I don't think the Academy Awards was trying to cancel him. He's the one that said he was going to step down.
Because they asked him. They said apologize or lose the position.
Apologize.
No, because they knew about it. So you're
do we know that they knew about it?
No, they're just faking. They knew about it. They're faking.
But regardless of what, we all know that there's politics in absolutely everything that we do, right? So if it means that hey, this stuff was brought to our attention, this is of course upsetting our audience. Let's address it. I don't think there's anything wrong with them saying let's address it. I think it's interesting because I don't think that you have to be chastised for the rest of your life. But think about it. Let's go to the further extreme, right? Let's say you were driving drunk and you killed somebody, right? And the family is like, yo, this person did this thing. Are you like, I'm not gonna apologize for it anymore? Granted, it's not this. It's death and life and whatever. Life and death, very different. But it's the same kind of idea. If you are sincerely apologizing for a wrongdoing.
Right.
I
hear you.
Can I talk about ideas and the power of ideas on a political tip? So ideologies are powerful, right, and can control life or deaths when we're talking about people of note and people of influence. So when we're talking about for the culture movements and what Kanye is representing Black people, when I stopped to think about what he was actually saying in some of those video clips, and I just take it from like an individual perspective, not all his saying is crazy in my
Right,
opinion.
yeah.
He's talking about like this universal humanism, and that's fine. He's talking about the prison industrial complex in some cases and employment, and then some other things I could find really problematic. So on an individual level, I can disagree here, but agree here.
Yeah.
I think part of this conversation is about this idea of political correctness,
Yeah.
right? When it's trendy.
Yes.
So is it okay
Right.
for somebody to think horrible things in their heart of hearts, but then just spew
Exactly.
beautiful language as destroying you, right?
Right.
Exactly.
And it's funny because I remember I said to you guys, you know, man asked for honesty, and then we created social media, and people started being honest about how they truly felt about situations. Everybody all of a sudden is offended because someone is being honest about how they feel about the situation.
Yeah.
And my thing is with Kanye, to Kern's point, I don't agree with like 90% of what he says, but what I do agree with is allowing us to have the freedom of thought.
Yeah.
So if the 90% of society thinks this way, I should be allowed to think the other way.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I should be allowed
And
that.
not
And that's
get
what
battered for it though. Like we have to throw that part in and not get beaten down for it.
Yeah.
Like Kanye never said anything to go kill anybody or like he's not spewing hatred. So why are we battering him for it? Like I get disagreeing with it and we talked and I said I don't like 90% is high, like that's a high number. But there's like a lot of the stuff he says like I don't agree with, but I don't batter him. Like I'm not gonna go like I just tune him out. Like I just stop following his Twitter.
To me,
like,
he's not.
I just tune him out.
If you stop, isn't that the same as the whole cancel culture?
No, when I say stop following Twitter, I mean like stop heavy like going on his feet.
To
like,
me,
I still follow him.
To me, cancel culture means I'm gonna stop buying his album. Like for me personally, I'm the type of person I can separate the person from the music. I can still like you musically, and maybe not like you as a person because it's like for me,
you're
I'm
not harming anyone.
Because for me,
That's why I shook my head, because that's where that was.
Saved by the bell.
that's it, I guess.
Yeah.